Okay, continue this. Let's continue this. Continue this is not exactly a sentence. Except if you are telling someone to continue this. But I'm not telling anyone anything. I'm just continuing this model. And our goal here is to make it the best version of this model that we can make it. Which is absolutely logical. And I even shouldn't say it, but I had to. So we have to now concentrate more on the details of this 3D sketch, because that will help us later when we're making the actual stuff, because now everything we made in the 3D sketch will be only for the purpose of where the things will be, how they will be in the size compared to one another. But if we go into a little bit more detail, will be much better. So now our model looks not bad. But as you can see, we can try to show it. Probably his head with the hair and the beard looks a little bit too big. So what can I do? I can either scale down the head or scale up the body, and I choose to scale up the body. How to scale something? I will put the pivot here in the neck area, because if it's here, we will scale it into this pivot, so it will be a little bit bad. So I will scale up the body. I will enable this thing here, which is all selected subtools to be transposed. So now I have to select some subtools. I can select them with just Control-Shift click and drag, and I will select them. So now I have selected everything except for the head with the hair, which is alright. So I can enlarge the body a little bit, like this. Let's see it now. I think this is a little bit better. And of course, even at the end stage of this character, we can, of course, do this. We can enlarge, or we can shrink the body or the head, if it's necessary, if we think it's necessary. So now I thought this will be necessary, so I did it. Let's continue working on the character, and we'll see what else can we do later in the process. I want to go and just turn my attention a little bit to the head. Okay. Here, those eyes, I still cannot fill them right. They're just not right for me. Maybe I can do this a little bit more of a straight line here, since he is frowning. Probably this will help a little bit, who knows. And let's go down subdivision a little bit, not that much. When I'm doing something like this, I like to go down subdivisions because because it's normal to go down. Otherwise it will be very much I mean, it will be wrinkled and stuff when I do it. And this way we are moving much less polygons at once, and the idea is to just not make it so wrinkled. So go down to subdivisions just a little bit, just to feel. Not like this. And here I cannot do almost anything except for big changes for the nose and everything. But like in the latest subdivisions that we have, it will be a very bad idea to move something, like for example like this, because you can see how this is going, and if I want to smooth it, it will still be bad. But if I go down subdivisions and I move it, then I smooth it, and then I go up, it's much cooler. So that's the idea of going down first. Okay. This doesn't look super bad. Let me see the eyes from here to here. So the distance between the eyes is still maybe a little bit too big. And also, I would prefer him with blue eyes. But for now, it's not possible. Or is it? It's maybe possible, but I think in the concept, I cannot see it in the concept. Let's try to visualize it to see it on the concept. I'm not sure that we can. No. It's impossible, but probably brown eyes. Who knows? And here, when we see this blink in the eye, he looks pretty good. But in order to see it, we have to move the light down. And now we're losing the shadows. Even if we render, we won't have these dramatic shadows. So in the final composition render, we'll have to do some magic. We will render the shadows like this, and then we will render the blink of in the eye like this probably, and we will be okay. So maybe we should make him a little bit more even scully. I'm not sure in English how you say it, scully or something. And now I made a mistake to make it in the last subdivision, and now I have this things I have to smooth, and yeah, I did it, but sometimes you can't do this, so I go down a few subdivisions and then just do my things. And the idea here is that if we have made some wrinkles in this subdivision, we cannot smooth them because they don't exist here. So basically it's a good idea to go down to this subdivision, do some things, and then go back, and you will have your wrinkles, your everything, and you will be able to change the form in this subdivision without much hassle. This is the I'm not sure how it was called. The cheekbone. Yeah, the cheekbone here. So basically we have the skull here. This is the cheekbone. This is the area around the eye. The socket of the eye is here, this area. And yeah, other than that, you have the bones of the forehead. And also, you can obviously see these bones here, which are the bones of the nose. It's going around like this is the nose. And after that, you have something like this. And then you have, this is not a bone here. This is just the nose, which is not a bone. It's bone up to here. And then after that, it's not. And yeah, if you look from below, you can see the arch of the teeth. And that's mostly it. Yeah, he looks fine. So let's concentrate ourselves on the model itself, the 3D sketch I mean. So what else we have that we haven't put in here? It's okay, these belts, I have to figure out a way to make them a little bit more upwards, like this, because they have to have a distance between them at least one belt, and they should be not very thin, but this I think will do, probably, we'll see. This belt is covering a little bit this one, and we will disable symmetry in order to make this belt here, and this will be a little bit tricky to make in a low polygon version, because I will make everything, almost everything, in his possession here, in his accessories, belts and everything. I will make it low poly in ZBrush, and then I will make thickness And then this way we will have much more control over the thickness. Especially it will be uniform thickness around every object, especially for belts and everything. I think this is mandatory. And yeah, so I'm doing this. No, I'm not doing this now, of course. I will do this after the 3D sketch. And the stage that we make everything in the model will be the longest. Now the 3D sketch stage, most of the time I spent like one day, like 8 hours for example, I spent on 3D sketching. Sometimes I even have time to make it with color, but this time I don't think we need to do this. It will look too good and we will not want to continue on the later stage. So probably it's for our best interest not to do this with color. Just do it like this and everything will be okay. Here we'll have this kind of a not mesh armor but link armor. No, how was it called? Link, mesh, whatever, this kind of armor that's made with little circles of metal, and then it continues here, and this will be a little bit tricky because it's random. You cannot exactly see it, how it goes there. Let's try to visualize it, but most of it, it's here behind his arm and behind this, and here it's a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. Probably I will make this. Let's make this a little bit smaller, put it here so I can have a little bit more space to work on, and I will mask. Let's disable all masks. I don't think we have some masks, but the boots are starting to look very good, and they will look much better when we are having all those pieces separately. It will be far better, and probably those wrinkles here, those folds, they are not super bad, but probably we can make them a little bit more refined and better. Yeah, for the wrinkles and for all, not the wrinkles, the folds. For all the folds, I like to give them special attention because they, in my opinion, they are making the model look good or look a little bit not so professional. If you don't make them right, probably they can make your model look a little bit unprofessional, and even when normal people look at it, for example producers or some kind of talent hunters or something, they don't understand too much about art, but they can see if your arms are wrong, if your head is wrong, and if your folds are not exactly logical. And that's because everybody, no matter who you are, every day you see arms, you see faces. Even if you are on the woods by yourself in some cave, you always will see your hands, and you always will see your face in the water, for example, when you're going to drink water from the pond. Yeah. Okay, so now I make this kind of design for this chain mail. Yes, it just came up to me, chain mail. And then I will extract it, accept. Then I told you that this process will make it a lot, so don't worry if you don't get it in the second try. So extract, accept, because if you don't accept, the extraction will disappear. So we'll have to just click extract again, it's nothing. Then we Control-Shift click to just separate only this upper subdivision subgroup or polygroup, and then del hidden. When we del hidden, we have only this, which is planes, which is perfectly cool. Then we go to zero mesher and zero mesh. Most of the time I zero mesh on the lowest possible, so like this, but this time I decided to go a little bit further, a little bit higher, because we have these transitions, sharp transitions here, and they won't be very nice with very low subdivision. But it's about to be seen. So now I will delete also this, because it will be a much pain in the where to make it look good. But deleting it, it's very easy. So del hidden, and then let's see it. Okay, and now it's very easy with the move brush to move this and hide it below this belt area. And this will be our chainmail thing. Of course, we have to decide how to make this chainmail, and there are a few ways that I will show you. I'll probably show you one. But yeah, probably we will make UV coordinates of this mesh, and then we'll put some texture, which we will just make a little bit more relief. I'm not sure. We'll see. Relief. Relief is something else. Why do we say relief? So this is I don't like it too much, so I will squeeze this to be thinner, and I will make it go up, and I will push this down a bit and this up. Yeah, I'm just making it work. We can even use this if we like it. We can use it in the final model. Of course, we will refine it a lot more. But the thing is, we can use it as a base, because like I told you in ZBrush, you only need a base for something, and then you will make it in one way or another. But you need something, just something to be there. I can even make this kind of a skirt with chainmail. I can make it from sphere. From a square, basically from everything. You just have to have something. Of course, from sphere or from whatever, it will be much harder and take me much more time. So I choose this extract method, which I will use for every belt and every piece of clothing in his possession. Yeah, basically that's it. So for these things on the hands, but let's not go to them. Let's just make more work on this belt thing, because this is bothering me a little bit. This kind of cloths that are overlapping and stuff are pretty hard to do, but I think we can handle it. We just have to find some good references, which is maybe the hardest part. Yeah, it's not very logical, but it's maybe the hardest part to find references for this kind of things. Right references. And if you can find them, after that it's just a matter of making the model look like the reference, which of course in the beginning is pretty hard. But after a few tries, after you try again and again, it will get easier and easier. Because with practice, everything becomes like this. Everything is easier with practice. That's not an exception. I've known a guy who was in my class when I was like 7th grade. And I was learning in some drawing class back then. Yeah, that was my specialty in 7th and 8th grade. After that, I went to study something completely different. But yeah, I returned. The thing is that he was not a very good artist. He hasn't got too much talent. He hasn't got too much practice. Although, but he has some will and wish. He wanted to become good. He wanted to be an artist. He wanted to be an painter. He wanted to be a sculptor, whatever. But he hasn't got any talent. And then in time, I went away from this school. I went to the other school of economics. And after I finished the economics school, me and him, we went to go to university together, to apply to university. But he was much better than me back then, because he had practiced, he had learned, he had practiced a lot, and he had practiced the right things. He was not just drawing in his notebooks like I did. In my notebooks, in my high school, I had more drawings than writing. Yeah, because I like to draw more, and I was drawing, and the people were writing stuff and everything. I was drawing. Although I had good grades. It was not a problem for me, but the thing is that I was drawing just random things. And I was drawing not from view. I was not watching something and draw it, which will teach you. I was just drawing something from my imagination, and I was not practicing the right thing. And yeah, he became better than me. So the thing is that what I want to tell you is everything comes with practice. Even if you're not super gifted, if you put enough time, for the right things to do, drawing from some models, or drawing from some pictures in internet, or sculpting in this case from some concepts, and trying to do them and put time, effort, eventually you will be much better than the other people that are just lazy and stay and just don't study anatomy, because anatomy, why do you study it? Yeah, but anatomy is the base for everything. If you want to make monsters, you have to know some anatomy. If you want to make people like character artists, anatomy is a must. Some people are character artists, or they call themselves like this, yeah, and they don't know super much anatomy. They know some, and they think that's enough, and that's all. But anatomy is, you have to study it your whole life. It's difficult. I mean, it's not difficult, but it's what? Okay, now something happened that I'm not very comfortable with. Let's see. Yeah, I've shrinked something, and then this shrink. Sometimes this kind of bugs happen, and then it's okay. Control Z. Yeah, something is. I'm Control Shift Z is the things that I'm doing. So the whole body was shrinked because I don't know, because probably we were on this tool when we shrink the body, when we made the body bigger, and now it's it's going on strange ways, and we cannot Control Z that. It's just some things are just like this. And I will do this. Not a good idea. We have to do it on higher subdivision. Zero mesher. And again, we have some problems here. Let's try to zero mesh a few more times. Okay, we have rid of these problems, but we don't have anymore the things that we have done in the back, which is not exactly a loss, but sometimes ZBrush do some strange things, which is why you have to save often. And we are out of time for this video. We'll probably continue, or no, we will not continue anymore, because I'm so depressed by what ZBrush did to me just now that I don't think I can I'm joking, of course. We will continue in the next video. Let's see our model, how it looks. No, it looks pretty awesome. And yeah, we have to see if the head is now again smaller, but I think it's okay. I think now it's okay. It was okay. Control Z. Yeah, it was like this, and now it's like this. So I think it's okay, and everything is normal. So see you in the next video. Bye for now.